I'm Dr. Theodore Henderson, and I am the president and founder of the company Neuro-Luminance. Neuro-Luminance is a company that is devoted to developing and implementing innovative, even revolutionary new treatments for brain disorders, not just neurological disorders, but psychiatric disorders. Our concept is that all of these are brain-based. So we bring brain-based treatments to depression, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, long COVID, ADHD, Parkinson, Alzheimer's disease, and more. Stand back and be, just ready to be wowed, because we're going to be talking about amazing treatments. I mean, I find them amazing, and I'm the guy who works with them. The place that I began was, I was actually working in neuroimaging. So I was doing brain SPECT scans, which are functional brain scans. And I'd do SPECT scan after SPECT scan, then I'd sit down with the patient and say, well, you've got a traumatic brain injury. I've got nothing for you. There's no treatment. Have a nice life. I got really tired of saying that. I got really tired of saying that to people. And I wanted to give them something that could help their brain. I was introduced to a colleague who became the co-founder of Neuro-Luminance, and he brought the idea of infrared light as a treatment for the brain. And I'm saying, what? Light? Light's not going to do anything to the brain. It's not going to get through the skull and get to the, that's ridiculous. And a colleague pulled me aside and she said, hey, look at the research. The research is really, really good. And so I did. And the research is coming out of Harvard and Uniform Services Hospital, great places. And it was showing that, in fact, infrared light is turning on neuroplasticity in the brain. In other words, turning on the brain's own ability to repair itself. The only problem was, it works in mice. How do you grow it up to make it work in humans? And that's what we did. We went into the research lab and we grew this data up, we grew this science up, and we showed that what power we needed to deliver to the scalp to be able to get through the skull into the brain of a human. And we began treating patients back about 12 years ago. And we started with traumatic brain injury. We were working with veterans who had been in the war and had brain injuries from roadside devices. In fact, one of the veterans we worked with was actually a bomb diffuser. Now, he actually had 8 separate explosions that he was exposed to. I think he was probably really good at his job, but there were probably a lot of bombs, so just statistically, he ended up with 8 brain injuries. And he was on the verge of losing his life. He was, couldn't keep a job, his wife was about to divorce him, he was about to lose his house, and we treated him. And he got better. And all of a sudden, he's now still happily married, has been working as an electrician at a local brewery here, doing great. It's been 12 years. He's doing great. And so it was life-changing for him, and it's been life-changing for so many of our patients. So what is this amazing treatment that Neuro-Luminance is bringing to patients? It is infrared light. Yeah, I know, infrared light? Are you kidding me? But infrared light has the ability to get through to the mitochondria. The mitochondria, those little organelles in your cells that make energy, they activate the mitochondria. So not only do the mitochondria make more energy, but they start sending signals down to the DNA of the cells. And the cells start producing growth factors, in particular brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF for short. BDNF is the driver of neuroplasticity in the adult brain. So the more BDNF you have, the more neuroplasticity you have, and your brain heals. What's really cool is that infrared light not only turns on neuroplasticity, but it reduces inflammation. So for example, in long COVID, people are battling inflammation and the damage that the virus did to their brain, as well as other viruses and pathogens that might have gotten reactivated by COVID. And so the infrared light repairs that inflammation. And so people, brain fog, fatigue, can't think their way out of a paper bag, all of that goes away. There's something else that turns on BDNF, and that is ketamine. Now, ketamine infusion therapy has been around now for about 10 years. We've been running a clinic for over 10 years. What makes ketamine such an amazing antidepressant is it turns on BDNF and turns on neuroplasticity. And that's what undoes depression. That's what fixes depression, not for a day or a week or as long as you keep taking a pill, but for the rest of your life. That's pretty amazing. All right, so I've introduced to you some really amazing new treatments for different brain disorders: depression, traumatic brain injury, ADHD, long COVID. And we haven't even talked about more serious neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease or dementia. If you like what we're hearing, if this has gotten you excited, stay tuned. I'll be doing more videos that go deeper into the science. But for now, Dr. Theodore Henderson with Neuro-Luminance signing off.